Okay, welcome to this first video of the class statistics, introduction to statistics and probability. The first video is just a brief introduction about the course, what we're studying, and kind of give you an idea what kind of things we talk about in this class. So let's get to it. Usually, what comes to your mind when you hear the word statistics? Okay, so many of us will think of the first thing come to your mind is number, right? So number is what usually comes to your mind. What else? Data, right? What kind of data? Could be numerical data or just categorical data. Charts and graph, right? So those is also what comes to mind as well. Let's see, percentage, right? So that's another one. Let's see here, what else? Average. So average is median for so average or mean, median, and such. Okay. What else here? Perhaps this is probably the most important thing that this class has to offer is probability, right? So we're going to study quite a bit of that in this course. Those are things that usually come to people's mind when they hear the word statistics, and we see these things every single in our daily life all the time, right? Whether we look through our cell phones, we watch the news, playing video games, or whatever, right? But here is the formal definition of statistics for this course. Okay, so we define statistics as the science. So this is the science of planning, studies, planning studies and experiments, by obtaining data, organizing data, then we summarize those data. After that, we presenting and analyzing. All right. So once we done all of that, we can finally interpreting. It's a very long definition, but it's a good definition. Interpreting those data to draw conclusions based on the data. Right. That's more like a formal definition of statistics. And what is the purpose of statistics? Why do we study statistics? What do we need to know? Or let's be aware of it. Usually we use statistics in our daily life almost more than we realize or give ourselves credit for. Is when we come across issues or problems or anything in real life that we need to make decisions. So the purpose of statistics is to help us or to guide us to make to help us make decisions about issues that involve uncertainty, meaning things that we don't know for sure, 100% sure, but we have some data, we have some experience, we have some past knowledge that allow us to make a decision or the best we can. So that's what the purpose of, well, the main purpose of statistics is just to help us make decisions in general. All right. Usually when we about to make a decision on things that we don't know about, we are not comfortable making a decision. But if we know a little bit more about the topic or that thing that we're about to make a decision, it helps us feel a little better, and to get comfortable with that topic is to find out more about that topic, and that is mainly use statistics, do some researching, right? Talk around, ask around, look at the numbers. So that is the purpose of statistics. And then I like to start out just an example, kind of give us an insight what this class mainly about. It's not it's not just, well, we're gonna go past algebraic manipulation in this class. So in this class here, we won't do a lot of formulas, manipulations, or calculations. We're gonna focus more on critical thinking, interpreting the answer and make sense of the answer. How is that relevant to us, or do the result can be practical to us, right? A lot of calculation that I've been doing in this class, we're going to use calculator to do that because the formula can be a little bit overwhelming, but we're not going to focus on how to get the formula, but it's more of interpreting the answer, right? I like to start out, with this example here in my first video, kind of give us an idea where we're heading in terms of what you're expecting for this class. Is this just another, algebra class here? Certainly it's not going to be another algebra class. It's going to be a lot more of just reading and understanding and apply your critical thinking and see how some of this result we're learning in this class can be relevant to you in your daily life. So let's start with this one. So in a survey of 1,046 adults conducted by Bradley Corporation, subjects were asked how often they wash their hands when using a public restroom. And 70% of respondents said always. Part A, we want to identify the sample and the population. So sample is the lowercase n, denoted as sample size. Okay. And in this case here, the sample size or the people are being surveyed is this here, 1,046 adults. So 1,046 adults survey. Right, so those are the number of people in this study, and that is our sample size to collect data, right? The population, we denote the population as capital letter N. That is denote for population size. Okay, so in this example here, there is no indication of how large this population size is. What is that number? What is this 1046 adult is drawn from a larger set? How many are there? In terms of what we're looking at is a bigger set than 1046. Is it a million adults? We don't know. We don't have an exact number. So all we can do is just describe this as the population size will be all the adults, and we're gonna assume that all the adults in United States for this country here. So that's all we can say is this 1046 adult surveyed is drawn from a larger set, and the larger set is all the adults in the United States. So in terms of picture, we can look at this as here is all the adults in the United States, right? So this is all adults in United States. So imagine that's the set there. That's the population, and then our sample size maybe perhaps right here. So that could be your sample size of this. So that would be just 1046. So that's what we're looking at. Part B, it is asking why would better results be obtained by observing the hand washing instead of asking about it. So based on this study, we got a result of 70% of respondents said always washing their hands. Why is it that we would obtain better result if the researcher actually observing the subject washing their hands, as opposed to having the subject just respond to the questionnaire? Well, what was that? When often about this kind of stuff here is a bit of personal topic. So normally when we are asked, right, we tend to feel like we don't want to share unhealthy habits, so we avoid telling the truth. So we can say that when asked, the respondents might be inclined to avoid the shame of the unhealthy habit, and that is not washing the hands. right? So these are things that we tend to avoid when we ask about this kind of stuff. If we have bad habits, we tend to avoid telling the truth. Washing their hands. There's no S there. So the reported 70% might be much higher than it actually is. Wouldn't you say so? Right. So to get a better measurement or a better result, we tend to take the measurement on our own rather than just ask to receive the data, or ask the subject to report it. So normally, so we said normally. Okay. It is better to observe or measure yourself than to ask subjects about it. Okay, so as you see, so this is kind of like an example, kind of leading to what we're going to be studying for the rest of the class here, is that, you know, we have some sort of data from a sample and we want to see what we can make out of that. What kind of conclusion we can draw from that. Is our conclusion valid, right? Is this sample 1046 in this example, is that something that is represented for the entire nation of, you know, United States, for all the adults, right? So this is kind of a quick intro there. As you see, no algebra, very little algebra, where a lot of it just thinking and just wording and write out. Okay. All right, so in the next video, we're gonna start the first lesson, and the first lesson is statistical and critical thinking. So I will see you guys in the next video.